That we have the right to do through federalization. Okay, let's go. Could I ask you to say exactly what this is?
Of course. So as you've consistently identified, sir, cashless bail policies are a key driver of the disorder we see on city streets all over America. Catch and release system allows criminals to keep going back out onto the street and reoffending. What this executive order does, it charges your attorney general with identifying jurisdictions all over the country that have cashless bail policies. And then it withholds or revokes federal funds and grants that are flowing to those jurisdictions to ensure that we're only supporting the people who have reasonable common sense policies around crime.
Yep. So what area does it cover?
And cashless bail means that the defendant charged with a crime are released before trial without having to pay money to secure their release. Instead of requiring a cash bond, judges decide to release based on factors like if there are flight risks, if they're a danger to the community, or other conditions. So yeah, I mean, the fact that they just let them out there pretty much, and here's the thing, it all depends on the crime, of course, but these guys were getting let out on cashless bail for pretty heinous crimes, especially the ones that were, of the assault nature.
Potentially anywhere that has a cashless bail policy. So some of the largest cities, some of the most left-wing states in America.
Almost all of them, right?
Illinois would be a great example of that, sir.
Oh, they have a great cashless bail. You don't even have to go to court sometimes. Illinois, I love that state. It's a great state, but it's run so badly by Pritzker. They threw him out of the family business and he becomes governor.
Good.
Now he wants to run for president. I don't think that's going to happen. Okay, we'll sign right here, right?
Sir.
Don't worry, we're going to hear from Pritzker because Pritzker has some choice words to say. Him and Westmore are kind of now trying to stand up against Trump. Trump's to put the feds in D.C. Westmore's like, hey, yo, what you mean? You don't need to do this. We're doing just fine on our own. Trump's threatening to bring it to Chicago, and now Pitzer's like, no, stay away, don't come. But guess what? Donald Trump is coming. Man, he's coming.
So important.
And prematurely, too. So it's like the most unwanted type of coming. Okay, I quit.
And this isn't Republican, Democrat. This is, and by the way, most Democrats agree with this. But this is just, we got to bring our country back. Okay? That's a big one.
Also on the issue of cashless bail, sir, this is a DC specific executive order. In addition to the measures that we're taking that are quite similar to what we're doing around the country, in DC in particular, the objective is holding as many criminal defendants in federal custody and subjecting them to federal charges as possible. That means that they'll be held pre-trial in federal jail as opposed to just being cut back out on the streets due to a cashless bail policy.
Okay. And we have the room. And by the way, the prison they have in DC is horrible. It's horrible. People were subjected to live in that dog trap.
Look, and the reason why cashless bail was pretty much orchestrated is one, they wanted to prevent poor people. Yes, prevent poor, nonviolent defendants from sitting in jail just because they can't pay. I mean, as they say, don't do the crime if you can't do the time. But I guess they try to skirt that through cashless bail or keep the justice system more equal instead of just overly favorably. Well, let's say this: the justice system and the legal system does favor the rich. If you got enough money, you can make the bail, you can get a good lawyer, and all that good stuff. So cashless bail was pretty much a way to mitigate that. I'm not sure what that has to do with rich people being able to afford better legal service, but. Okay.
For so long, so unfairly. I have stories, you'll be hearing about them. That prison is horrible. Okay.
This is an executive order that contains a number of additional measures relating to crime and law enforcement in Washington, D.C. It charges, for example, your Secretary of Defense with establishing specialized units in both the D.C. National Guard and the National Guard units around the country, specifically trained and equipped to deal with public order issues. It charges all of your various federal law enforcement agencies with hiring additional personnel to allow them to surge personnel to Washington, D.C. to deal with the current emergency here. It does a number of other things in that space, and it also asks the Attorney General to look at D.C. Metropolitan Police general orders that have currently impeded law enforcement efforts in the city, and to potentially look at unwinding those that are stopping the police from doing their job effectively.
And are we going to ask this to be codified by Congress, all of these things?
I think we could potentially, yes, sir.
I think so. I think we should. I think we'll get it. I think Democrats will vote. Well,
Okay, we got 300 plus y'all in here, man. Do me a favor and double tap that screen, like the video, guys. Let's get more people on the conversation by double tapping that screen. Plus, it's free.
it's hard to believe that they might not, but I think Democrats will actually vote for this. There's no auto pen that can do that. Look at that, Pam. Is that a good signature? Seriously, is that a good signature? Who can write like that? Nobody. I don't know. That's the other thing. I assume we're looking at the whole auto pen scam,
Sir.
because the person that ran it said he spoke to it briefly twice about nothing.
You know, Trump is like the only guy whose signature is actually longer than his actual name. That's the craziest part about his signature.
That means that all those pardons that he gave to some very bad people,
Well, he
very
wrote that in
unpatriotic
print.
people, very
Wouldn't be
evil
that
people, it looks to me like those pardons are worthless. Because number one, you shouldn't use an auto pen very specifically. But if you do, it has to be a very good reason. And they have to know that the president wanted it. The president didn't want this. The president didn't know he was alive, okay? He never approved any of this stuff. He wasn't for open borders and all the other things. He was never for open borders. I've known Biden a long time. He was never very sharp, but he was never in favor of.
You know, as the deporter in chief, Barack Obama's VP, I know the guy who deported the most illegals or the most immigrants. Yeah, you would think he would have a stronger immigration policy than what he showed us those 4 years. I mean, you would think you would see the exact opposite, you know, considering that he was Barack Obama's VP. So it is a bit shocking. And it does kind of go into the whole auto pen, you know, theory of, you know, why was some of the most major like executive order, major policies, or I would say major orders signed in auto pen instead of being, you know, signed in public? I wouldn't even, you don't even have to sign it in public, just sign it by hand. But him doing it by auto pen, even if there's nothing like crazy going on, even if there's no fraud going on, the fact that he signed it by auto pen just kind of gave reason to this. And even when I looked up auto pen, they said most presidents don't use it for important documents, except for Biden. They usually use it just to sign fan mail.
Open borders and all of the other things he did to destroy our country. Let's go.
Lastly, sir, this is an executive order on flag burning. It charges your attorney general.
Would you listen to this? This is very important. Flag burning. All over the country, they're burning flags. All over the world, they burn the American flag. And as you know, through a very sad court, I guess it was a 5-4 decision, they called it freedom of speech. But there's another reason, which is perhaps much more important. It's called death. Because what happens when you burn a flag is the area goes crazy. If you have hundreds of people, they go crazy. You can do other things. You can burn this piece of paper. You can, but when you burn the American flag, it incites riots at levels that we've never seen before. People go crazy.
Now, look, if you guys still want to be some American hating people and you want to burn an American flag, look, this is what you can do. You can print out a paper picture of the flag and you can burn that. Okay, there you go. I wouldn't advise it still, but I mean, hey, it's better than trying to burn the flag, the cloth. Go ahead, print you out a nice little paper and go burn that for your anti-American, you know, I guess for your anti-American hatred. Okay, man, I don't get you. I just don't get guys who just want to burn the flag when they live in this country. I get it in other countries because we fuck with them too much. Excuse my language, but we do F with them too much. But us, come on now. Like the people who benefit mostly under this flag are the people who want to burn it. It makes no sense. But hey, like I said, you can go print you a piece of paper and go burn you that.
Both ways. There are some that are going crazy for doing it. There are others that are angry about them doing it. Do you want to discuss that?
Sure. So what the executive order does, sir, it charges your Department of Justice with investigating instances of flag burning. And then where there's evidence of criminal activity, where prosecution wouldn't fall afoul of the First Amendment, and instructs the Department of Justice to prosecute those who are engaged in these instances of flag burning.
And what the penalty is going to be, if you burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail
And shout out to my man Maine. Don't burn my flag or there will be a fight. Law. I mean, yeah, and let's be real. A lot of people do take that highly offensive. Even I do find some offense in it. I'll be honest with you. Like, you're burning the American flag. I'm going like, bro, you're burning the thing that makes me that we wave. That's the signal that signs that I'm free. Like, you're burning everything that my values stand on right there in that flag of liberty and freedom. I can't have you do that. But freedom of speech, right? Like, even if they do it in front of me, I'm gonna get angry. I'm gonna be real with you, but freedom of speech. Now, this is how you guys can, go ahead and have your freedom of speech without disrespecting the American flag. Burn a piece of paper. There you go. Easy.
No early exits, no nothing. You get 1 year in jail. If you burn a flag, you get, and what it does is incite to riot. I hope they use that language, by the way. Did they?
Incitement is
Incite to riot. And you burn a flag, you get 1 year in jail. You don't get 10 years, you don't get 1 month. You get 1 year in jail, and it goes on your record. And you will see flag burning stopping immediately, just like when I signed the Statute and Monument Act. 10 years in jail if you hurt any of our beautiful monuments. Everybody left town. They were gone. Never had a problem after that. It's pretty amazing. We stopped it. But this is something that's, I don't know, in a certain way, it's equally as important. Some people would say it's more important because the people in this country don't want to see our American flag burned and spit on. And by people that are, in many cases, paid agitators. They're paid by the radical left to do it. You talk to these people, they don't even know, half of them don't even know what they're doing. They say, I don't know, they gave me money to do this. I see the same things that you do. They're bad people. They're trying to destroy our nation. That's not working because I think our nation now is the most respected nation anywhere in the world.
I don't know. Even if you're paid for it, that's even worse. I'd rather you burn the flag and you stand on it. Not you burn the flag and somebody paid you to do so. That's even worse. It's like, bro, what else could somebody pay you to do?
World by far. You saw that with the European leaders on Friday. You saw that with NATO, where they agreed to go from 2% no pay to 5% fully paid up, trillions of dollars paid, where they respect your president to a level that they jokingly call me the president of Europe. They call me the president of Europe, which is an honor. I like Europe and I like those people. They're good people. They're great leaders. And we've never had a case where 7 plus really 28, essentially 35, 38 countries were represented here the other day. 38 European countries were represented. European and other countries were represented. And it was a great meeting. But your country is respected again. I say it all the time. 1 year ago, our country was dead. Everybody said it. We had a dead country.
And guys, let's be real though. Is this really a hindrance on freedom of speech when you just can't burn the flag? I mean, you can still talk trash about America, as y'all continuously do. I mean, you could burn a paper flag. I mean, is it really that important that you got to burn the cloth? Like, do you really need it that bad? Like, can't you just burn a paper flag and just say F America and be happy? Like, do you really got to go out your way to burn a flag? Like, think about this, guys. Does it really take away your freedom of speech? Or does it just take away your right to burn some cloth?
We were not going to survive. Now we have the hottest country anywhere in the world. So it's an honor to be involved. And this group has a lot to do with it right behind me.
Is it?
Does anybody behind me have anything? Pam, would you like to say something?
Sure, President. Thank you for keeping DC safe. Just a couple examples of a mother, a single mom whose house was burglarized, and the defendant got out on cashless bail, went back the next night and burglarized her house again. That's why this is so important. A man got in a fight with another guy. He had a gun. He was let out. Next night, he got up, went back and killed him. So that's why it's so important, President, what you're doing. And thank you for protecting the American flag. And we'll do that without running afoul of the First Amendment as well. And President, I think I think Gaddy Serralta had something he wanted to give you on behalf of all the law enforcement who are out there every single night.
Yes. Thank you for putting me in charge of this surge as the director of the United States Marshal Service. It's the oldest law enforcement agency. It was created in 1789. So on behalf of all the federal law enforcement agencies that we're working with and those that have yet to join the team, we thought it was only appropriate to present you with
Oh,
an honorary.
And shout out to my man Vlad Steen for coming in. He says, you'll own nothing and be happy about it. World Economic Forum. Shout out to my man Larry Fink.
United States Marshal Service badge.
I think.
And this badge comes with this little item right here, which is a handcuff key, Mr. President,
Fink.
because you continue through your policies and your efforts with your staff to unhandcuff law enforcement officers all over this nation. And I can tell you personally that they thank you for that.
thank you. That's
So you
beautiful.
can continue unhandcuffing law enforcement.
That's a very great honor. I'll save that and put it
Uncuffing
someplace
law
up,
enforcement is
which
wild.
is important. Thank you very much, Ken. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Really nice. Thank you.
Hmm.
That's very nice. Thank you. Well, we love those people.
Gave him a pound of police handcuffs and said, thank you for uncuffing law enforcement. I mean, well, that was a bit of a cheesy way to show your appreciation, but okay. I mean, all right.
They're brave and
You know, it's so funny. This does remind me of the South Park episode, you know, where Trump just sits down, everybody comes through and give him his offerings, lay down their offerings like he got beside him, like he got the World Cup, he got himself some handcuffs. I mean, shoot, the senior of Apple gave him a piece of glass.
love our country, and they don't want to see. They don't want to see.
Funny.
You know how many people volunteered for this job? And before I ask the VP to say a few words, because he feels very strongly about it, I think it's very important, Pam, that when we do this, that a state required, they come and ask us. I mean, I see Pritzker saying, we don't want them. In the meantime, his city is being shot to hell. And they do that politically. And they probably do.
You know, Pritzker is definitely crazy. It's like, dog, you're the governor of Illinois. There's no way you're going to sit there and say, no, stay out. Do not come here. Bro, handle Chicago then. Handle Chicago because it's bad out there. It's really bad. And then the fact that y'all flooded it with immigrants made it even worse. I know. They made Chicago even worse some freaking way. So, yeah, bro, how about this? You go fix Chicago, and then you could tell Donald Trump what to do, okay? And then actually, know what? Then everybody's going to respect what you're standing on. But right now, since you are the governor of Illinois, and Chicago's one of the cities that you have governance over, I'm not gonna lie. You're like, please, bro, take it somewhere else. Go fix that city first, because they need it.
If we didn't go to Los Angeles, you would literally have had to call off the Olympics. It was so bad. And the sheriff and the law enforcement people, but the sheriff said, and he came out very strongly, he said, if we didn't have these people, we were not able to control it. Now, 4 days later.
And shout out to my man Monty, says, I disagree. It's an infringement on speech. I'll debate it. You must defend all speech, including speech you hate the most. That speech is most important speech to defend. Now, the speech. Now, are we talking about, because remember, burning a flag is not talking, it's an action. We're talking about people can still say F America. They can still say whatever they want. Shoot. I mean, you can still say death to America here in America. And like, you may hate it, but they can say it. So all they're saying is you can't burn a flag. Now, and here's the thing. I'm honestly like 50-50 on this my damn self. I'm not all the way 100 on this one right now. I'm like, I mean, you could still say whatever you want, but you can't commit this action. I mean, you know, if they took away protesting, then I'd hear y'all point. But burning a flag? I don't know.
After we had it totally under control, we did that quickly. He changes to a little bit. Well, I think we could have done it. You know, they were dead. If we didn't send in the troops, Los Angeles was dead. The Olympics was gone. The World Cup was gone. Everything was gone.
But F it, Monty. I'll take that position. I'll take the position. Why not?
We did a great job. And Newsom, you got he's an incompetent governor. But I think people should want us to be there, because otherwise all they'll do is complain as we do our job. So we'll have to think about that. Okay, we go in, like in Washington, we go in, and the people that are here that have been doing, I don't want to say terrible, because she happens, you know, she's a nice woman. Yes, I don't care about if she's nice. You know, I really don't care. I want her to do. I'd rather have her be horrible but do the job. But we come into Washington and we have the 11 best days they've had here in 2 centuries. I mean, they've never seen anything like it. Let's go 2 decades in over.
And shout out to my man Sid coming in with a baller alert. And shout out Sid, he said executive orders aren't laws. Presidents can't unilaterally write laws. Freedom of speech matters above all else. Imagine Set's burning a piece of cloth rationalized in regards to burning the pride flag. I agree with Monty. Burning a, you know what, rationalize, I get what you're trying to say. Rationalize in regards to burning the pride flag. So yeah, I would say it like this. You're right. I'm hearing y'all points out, but when it comes to freedom of speech and you guys just can't burn the flag, but you can still have all the criticisms in the world that you want, and you're not going to get in trouble or prosecuted for them. Is it are we talking about words or actions here? But all right, that's just my question to you, my friend. And shout out to my man Vlad. Said they burn an American flag. I'll warm my house with all the other flags I can find, including the pride one. I mean, hey, fair is fair. Fair is fair. And a bit petty, but I love it. Shout out to my man Monty. Says expression is speech. Open the lines. All right, then. You know what? I'm going to be the bad guy tonight. Why not? All right, guys. Give me like 3 to 5 minutes. Go ahead and get this calling link set up.
20 years, they haven't seen anything like what happened. And now they're out there saying, we don't have crime in Washington. Well, that's true. For 11 days, you don't have crime. But before that, everybody was getting hit and mugged. And you people could not walk to your office without security. That's how unsafe it was. So I think we should really let them have their city, let their city go to hell. And when they come and beg us to help, the only problem is we want to save it for the people, because the people want us there. The people here, 95% of the people here want us. The real people, not the people you find on. I don't know where you find these people. You have one person.
I mean, the people who actually live in the hoods of DC are loving this. But, the suburb people who don't really experience anything, who don't have nothing happening to them, all they have to, they're just so bored that they got to protest something. Yeah, those who are not affected are the most outraged. But those who are affected are the most grateful. It's hilarious. Sadly, honestly, it's like, wow. That's why when Stephen Miller said, yo, there's a bunch of old white hippies out there who don't even live in the area who's out here protesting this. Now, maybe if it was a bunch of black folks out here doing it, okay. But the black folks who live in the area going like, hey, man, good looks.
It has a broken nose. Where'd you get it? Well, I was mugged. Good. Do you want to see Trump here with? No, I don't want. The woman has a broken nose. She got mugged. But she's saying she doesn't want any protection. It's all made up fake news. It's just fake news. I don't know where you find these people. Anyway, would you say a couple of words, please? And then I'm going to ask JD to say something. You have done an unbelievable job in a short period of time.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Highly recommended by you know who, right?
All right, call-in line has been posted in the post tab, guys. Well, call-in link to the StreamYard.
Yes, sir.
You want to say his name?
Mr. Youngkin, Governor Youngkin. Yes, sir.
We stole you from Governor.
He called me, Glenn Youngkin called, and he said, I have somebody who's really fantastic. And based on that recommendation, here you are. You've done a fantastic job. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you. Go ahead.
The men and women of the Metropolitan Police Department are back. They enjoy doing their job again. They feel the ability to go out and be law enforcement officers. They feel that they're connected to their communities again. They are making a difference. Thanks to you, Mr. President, and our federal task force, you are making DC safe once again. Thank you, sir.
It's going to get better and better. Well, it can't get much better. There's no crime. I read where crime's down 89%. I said, really? Who are the 11%? Okay, there's no crime. JD, please.
Yes, sir. Well, thanks, Mr. President. Thanks to the incredible team here. You know, I want to echo something the president said, where you say there haven't been murders in a couple of weeks in DC, and it doesn't sound good, but then you talk to local law enforcement, and I didn't realize that this town averaged one murder every other day for the last 20, 30 years, which means that in 2 short weeks, the president and the team have saved 6 or 7 lives, people who would have been killed on the streets of DC, who are now living, breathing, spending time with their families, because the president had the willpower to say, no more. We're not going to give the streets of DC over to vagrants and robbers and murderers. And the last point I want to make, sir, to your point about we want people to welcome us, to ask us, because Look at Governor Pritzker in Illinois, or Governor Newsom in Los Angeles, or Governor Moore in Maryland. They're angrier about the fact that the President of the United States is offering to help them get their crime under control than they are about the fact that murderers are running roughshod over their cities and have been.
Yeah, if I was them, I'd take any opportunity to lower my crime, no matter what. Even if I'm already on a downward trajectory, I would still take the assistance. But all right, guys, straighten me out on this one, because honestly, I am 50-50 on it. Is this truly a violation of freedom of speech?
Absolutely.
Yes,
100%.
absolutely.
Yes.
I don't believe so.
So let me start off.
Gotcha.
So freedom of speech does not just mean talking. Freedom of speech does not just mean holding a sign. Freedom of speech does not just mean, it's any which way you can express yourself that does not harm others, not hurt other people's feelings, does not harm others, or does not interfere with business. So if you block a highway, that's not freedom of speech. That's just blocking a highway. That's illegal.
Okay.
If you burn a flag when there's a burn ban, that is not freedom of speech, because you put the public at risk because there's a burn ban and you burn something.
Okay.
So, I mean, and then freedom of speech does have its limits. You obviously can't yell fire in a crowded movie theater. You can't do stuff like that because it is dangerous to the public. Burning a flag is not dangerous to the. I see what they're trying to do here. They're trying to say
my
that
position. That's my
they're trying-
position. May I ask you a question? Do you think there are people out there that will go absolutely ape shit crazy?
So perfect. Just because your feelings are hurt about something does not give you the right to go absolutely ape shit and not act like an adult.
Yeah, no, hell has frozen over because Monty is spitting facts right now.
Well,
Monty is absolutely right on this.
Why is yelling fire in a theater bad then? Because
that
people don't have
causes,
to just start running out of control crazy.
Because that causes, right. So that's what that causes. People don't understand. They can't see that there's not a fire in the movie theater. They trust you. That is a public safety. That is the good of the public over.
But Monty, that's not even the Brandenburg test. That's not even the Brandenburg test for free speech.
All right, hold on now. No, guys, think about it like this. Now, I get it. Freedom of speech, protecting individuals' ability to express ideas and opinions without government censorship or interference. So this is where I say, do you honestly have to burn a flag? Like,
if you want
nobody has to do anything. Nobody has to do anything for free speech. Free speech is free speech. If it is expression.
Okay, so because you can't burn a flag of the American flag, right? I mean, you just can't burn the cloth.
No, so
are we just talking about like, because I said a piece of paper, or am I going? Maybe he means you can't even print out a piece of paper of the American flag.
Let me ask you this question, Seth. Why is the cloth any different than a piece of paper?
Probably to burn. I don't know. Probably burn longer. Probably burn longer is a little bit more disrespectful when it's the actual flag.
So that's the thing. Disrespect is not covered under the freedom of speech. Disrespect is covered.
But I get it. But here's the thing, though: is burning that flag? What does burning the flag represent? Like, what is that expressing?
It represents that you're not happy with the.
You have a dissent for America. So why do you got to burn a flag? Why can't you just burn a piece of paper that says the American flag? Why can't you just, I don't know, like,
because you're trying to dampen the message. That is actually what's illegal about this, is you cannot dampen the message. And Maine just said something about his family died for the flag. Yeah, his family also died for the people that do this. You died for everybody's rights. You don't get to pick and choose whose rights you die for.
Exactly, man. We're a country that does things a little bit different.
Well, there's some people who will still take that as the same offense.
Some people wouldn't. You can't stop talking long enough for me to finish my point.
Actually, you're right. Maine hasn't really been able to finish a point.
So people that have had family members die, it can cause a strong reaction. Not saying that they're in their right mind. I'm not trying to say that they have the right to go flipping crazy, but it happens. And that's why this law was made, because the people that will go flipping crazy, it's causing a public danger and people are getting hurt. So like calling fire in a crowded theater. I mean, just because you yelled fire doesn't mean people have to start running around, trampling each other, getting hurt, do they?
Yeah.
No.
Now, hold on. If I can
But
take on
it's
this
still
argument as well. Now,
illegal.
here's my argument, though. Like, Monty, you said that it's watering down, but some people would still see it as the same message as burning a flag.
So here's a good
Burning, is this
example.
about freedom of speech, or is this about actually just burning the flag?
Burning the flag is freedom of speech.
Yes, you could burn a paper flag and everything's all good, and you still
That's
get
not
your
the
freedom of
flag.
speech.
That's a piece of paper.
Why does the material matter?
Why does the flag on it? Like, so why does the American
why
flag?
does the why
It's
does the
about
material
American
matter?
flag, not
Why does
freedom
the
of speech.
material matter?
You can still say F America by burning a paper flag instead of the cloth one.
Why does the material matter?
If the message is the same?
Yeah.
I can tell you
If the message is
something.
the same, then why does it matter how it's carried out?
It'll piss Maine's family off just as much if it's a paper
If you let me
flag.
speak instead of speaking for me, you'd let me say that if you
Go
were
ahead,
burning
go
a
ahead.
piece, if you were burning a piece of paper, it's not going to hit me the same way as if you're burning the cloth.
Okay, now let me.
I don't know. I don't
let
know.
me interject. Let me interject because you guys are just going off on a tangent. So, would you agree that it's hateful and it's wrong and it would induce some sense of madness or going craziness if someone was at your service member's funeral yelling obscenities at them?
I can't tell you
Yes.
it's wrong.
Yeah.
I can't
So
tell you it's wrong.
okay. So if they're holding up signs and yelling and saying, thank God the soldiers are dead and all that fun shit, would that rise to that?
Yes, absolutely
Yeah,
it would.
I'm not telling you that they're wrong, but I can tell you that it might make people want to kick their ass.
Right.
That would be more wrong than burning the flag, Maine. That would be more wrong.
That would be more wrong. That is covered under Snyder v. Phelps in the Supreme Court case. It is absolutely protected speech.
Yeah, well, yeah, I know, but it's about the same to me. I mean, doesn't mean that people aren't gonna start getting flustered and do something.
That's their fault. If you get flustered,
Sure, yeah.
Hold on, like Maine. I would say
I agree. If they hit somebody for burning the flag, that they're the ones who committed the crime. However, with the psychology of especially the way things are right now, people are gonna act erratic. And
yeah,
what if erratic nature?
What if someone got erratic over people burning a pride flag? What if people got erratic over people burning a pride flag?
They kind of did, but it didn't really mean anything.
We'd all be in
all right now. Hold on now. Shout out to
Should we make it illegal? Should we make it illegal?
Shout out.
No, you shouldn't.
Shout out to my man Daniel Castro. Easy solution: make the flag a protected symbol. All right.
Yeah.
And then also shout out to my man Chase. He says the First Amendment protects communication.
Like the flag
burning any flag isn't communication. Also, if your statement is F America, then what are you doing here?
Expression is. You can disagree with what the government is doing. You can disagree with that and express it. There's a difference between being tired, maybe, and like dragging the flag through the mud because you're sick of holding it up, and purposely burning it for like Monty said. If you're in violation of certain fire codes in whatever city, yeah, that's different. But just making it illegal to burn the flag, that is such a violation of free speech. And I promise you, it doesn't end there. It does not end there. And you know what? If this goes through and this passes, it will be. If we ever get a Democrat president again, it could be. If you burn the pride flag, that is illegal. That is hate speech. That is a protected flag, and you can't do that. You can't express yourself in that way. And I guarantee not one person on this call would be in support of that.
No.
I understand your concern, and I back you up on the statement.
Honestly, I just don't see the difference between burning a piece of paper. Let's be real. I don't see the difference between burning a piece of paper on the American flag and burning the American flag.
Then why is that your solution to the issue of burning the American flag? If there's no difference, then the message hasn't changed.
Because now you can get arrested for the other one. So if you don't want to get arrested, I'm like, all right, don't do
no.
If there's no difference, why couldn't you get arrested for both?
Bro, I'm speaking in the terms of what's been enacted right now. If this wasn't
it's not a law,
right now,
like I said in my message.
But if
like I said in my message, executive orders aren't laws. Executive orders aren't laws.
Like Sid, if now you burn a flag, you can go to jail for a year. I would not.
That's
I would
not
tell you right now,
true.
like, bro, if you want to go out there and burn a paper flag, I would advise you do that instead of effing around and finding out.
Executive
No.
orders
Seth,
aren't
And you can
laws,
still
Seth,
get
Seth.
your
that's the
message
wrong.
across. You'll still get your message across the same as you would burning a cloth. I just don't
Seth,
understand
you're
what's
wrong.
the obsession with the burning of the
Executive
cloth.
orders can't hold the weight of laws. So you're wrong about that. They're not laws, but they can
No,
hold
no,
the weight.
I'm just Monty. I didn't say that.
I'm talking about Sid.
Oh, okay.
You're trying to
Everybody's just
act like
yelling.
we are. Yeah, we're trying. You're trying to act like we should take this as they are laws. This executive order is not a law. This
No,
is just him
bro, I didn't say
signaling.
it's a loss. I said now if this thing
It still
comes into
has
act,
authority.
right? And I said if this thing comes into act and they're standing on this, then what my suggestion would be to go ahead and burn a paper flag. Now, if they don't,
Seth,
okay, cool, great.
just going along to get along is not how we have the greatest country in the world. Just going along and letting your rights be trampled on because you might get arrested
But your
is
rights are
not.
not being trampled on. You can still say
Yes, they
whatever you want to
are.
say. How,
You
Monty?
No, you
Tell me.
can't.
you
Can you
cannot. You
tell
cannot.
me
You
what you
cannot burn a
cannot say?
flag.
Tell me what you will get arrested for saying. Tell me.
Freedom
Good,
of
Harry.
speech does not just talk about speech. It is speech, expression, religion, and it says Congress shall make no law. There
Yeah,
should
and
be
you can
no
still
infringement.
express all of those. You can
Why?
still
Why?
express your
Except you
dissent
can't.
for America and all that. You just can't
Except
burn
you
the
can't.
flag,
Oh yeah.
right?
Yeah.
That's
So,
it.
but and then let's expand that a little bit next year when a
But
Democrat
there's
gets
not.
in, and let's
But
just
now,
no,
but now
no,
you're
no, no,
saying
no,
let's
no.
expand. But this is the case of the
That's
matter.
what they're
Now
going
we're
to
playing
use as precedent to
hypotheticals.
take the rest of it away. That's what they do. They use case law as
Hypothetical. That's not
precedent.
happening. I understand you're being a bit like, well, I mean, exaggerated about the topic, but come
Look
on
at
now.
the
Now
steps.
you're
No, it's
jumping
not being
steps.
exaggerated. You
Set.
have to look into the future. How are they going to
Yeah.
use this from now on? You have to
Set.
look
That's
into the
not
future.
Because
happening
you
right
can't
now,
burn a
so it could
flag
never
and you can
happen.
still, bro, no, they're not saying that you can't burn no image of the American flag. You can't have no dissenting language towards America. They're not saying that.
You own
Beyond
the
You
that,
fucking
really don't
flag.
think that's what he wants? You really think that's not what he wants?
if he that's
Oh,
what he wanted, he'd have did
relax.
it. He'd have did
Relax.
it. It'd have been out, it'd have been overt.
Dude, he could barely
Yeah.
do
He's doing
this.
it, bro.
You
You
Yeah.
can't.
guys are
Hey,
tripping
hey,
about what he's doing
can we
now. If he
talk
wanted to
about,
go that
I'm on
step
the phone.
further, he'd have done it.
can we talk,
No.
can we talk about 0 African American lives dying in DC in the last 11 days?
No,
Yeah,
we're not
I
gonna.
get
We're
why you
not
want
gonna
to
move on.
change the subject. I get why you want to change the subject, man.
No, it's
No,
not
it's
even,
the same
bro. Look,
subject.
look.
It's the same subject, and the reason why is because people say that that's a constitutional fear. I don't want to see the National Guard in these places either, because I fear the same thing that you do about the fact that this precedent could be set and used maliciously in the future. So I
Yeah,
don't
and
like
when we get
seeing
elected,
certain
we'll
things,
we'll deploy him to your
but
street for. When we get
at
elected,
the
we'll
same
deploy him to your
time,
streets.
it's hard to say a whole bunch of bad, and it's not Trump that you're worried about. I'm not worried about Trump. I'm worried about somebody in the future. Sure.
Yeah,
But
18
look,
of
we
the
still have
of
to,
the
we still
20
have
highest crime rate states are red. By the way, look out.
what?
Yes, and the highest crime rate cities are Democrats. Look out. But okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
All right, now
Democrats.
Monty, I'm gonna let you have the closing argument on this one. Go ahead and give us a closer, my friend. Oh, Monty left. But all right, he'll be right back. But all right, guys, let's get right back into the video.
For decades. Why are Democrat governors angrier about federal law enforcement helping clean up their streets than they are about the fact that those streets need to be cleaned up to begin with?
All right, Monty. Yo, I said I wanted to give you the closing statement on this one.
So, like I said, burning the flag is 100% a form of expression. You're expressing your disdain by doing something, and the more impactful it can be, the more message it can send, the better. And if that's what you want to send, that is protected. That is absolutely protected. And having the argument that, oh, you can burn a picture of a flag takes away from the severity of that message. And just because people don't like it does not mean it's not protected. I don't like it when people burn the American flag. I want to go beat them up. Also, you have the issue of private property. If you go and buy a flag to burn, it's your prerogative what you do with your flag. There's no law against burning a flag. In fact, that's actually how flags are retired. So it shouldn't matter.
Well, I think there's controversy of whether it was actually a precedent set that it's actually considered, it was considered freedom of expression rather than freedom of speech, like
Freedom of
painting a
speech
picture.
is freedom of expression. That's this. They cover
It's
the
within,
same
yeah.
thing.
I know. I'm just splitting hairs.
Yeah,
And
no. So stop trying to split hairs because you know that it's wrong to do this. This is the
and
wrong.
I wasn't arguing. I was just being a nerd.
I mean,
All right.
either way, freedom of speech, expression is speech under the Constitution, and Congress shall make no law. I mean, maybe you can say that making an executive order gets around this because Congress didn't make the law, but if the only way an executive order has power, if it has power from an existing law, so it doesn't. If Congress made the law, then Congress made the law, and it's unconstitutional. It's absolutely unconstitutional. And it was Ben Franklin that said either you support all of it or you support none of it. This law or this ruling, if it gets upheld, can be expanded. It can be expanded to maybe you can't drive a red car because that's the color on the flag and that's disrespectful to the flag. Maybe you can't drive a white car or a blue car either. Well, maybe wearing a shirt with the American flag on it that gets ripped you're breaking the law. It can expand and expand and expand. Just because your president right now, my president, mind you, is doing something that I agree with, does not mean that I should support it. Does not mean that you should support it, because it could easily turn on a dime and be used against you. And it does. It happens all the time. And if you
Monty is spitting facts. He is spitting facts, and we disagree with each other so much, and we hate each other, and we argue all the time. But he is absolutely correct here, and that should tell you guys something.
I also agree.
I'm the only one that don't agree. I'm
have
be
to
real with
defend
you.
it.
I'm
You
the
have
one
to
that don't
defend
agree.
the speech you hate the most. You have
Yes,
to.
exactly.
But there are
I do defend.
exceptions.
Look.
People can get
Here's
hurt.
all right, guys. Hold on. Let's get to the chats. And let's hear what the chat
all right.
got to say. All right. So shout out to my man Daniel Castro. Oh, no, my bad, Castro. But yes, Castro right here. He said, "Express all you want. Don't burn my flag." And shout out to last thing he says, "Is not burning something an expression of hate?" Well, all right. And shout out to Chase. He says, "Burning the flag isn't dissent to the government. It's dissent to the idea of the U.S./Constitution. That's hate speech. They hate us and what we stand for."
It's not hate speech.
Can I
shout out
give
to
you an
Mandy
example?
Rose. Hold on. Shout out to Mandy Rose. Burning the American flag is a hate crime, plain and simple. I guess everybody's having this consensus on it. Daniel Castro, not worried about them abusing it. We can revolt. And all right, shout out to the supporters.
Yeah, Daniel, I'm with you.
But you won't. You won't.
You won't.
We've had our rights trampled on for the past fucking 20 years that I've been alive and able to fucking understand what's going on. The Second Amendment has gotten smaller and smaller. The First Amendment is now getting smaller and smaller. The Fourth Amendment has gotten smaller and smaller. The 10th Amendment has gotten smaller and smaller. You guys give away your rights for the idea of security and feeling nice. I'm so
Monty, I think you're over exaggerating.
Dude, why is Monty so
Patriot
based?
Act?
I think you're over exaggerating because you're trying to say that, oh, well, look, like I said, you could burn a paper flag. And also,
hey,
like, bro,
it's
you
so
saying that it's
bullshit.
gonna jump to us not being able to wear certain things, say certain things. I mean, you're kind of jumping. You're kind of like over exaggerating.
You can go to the bathroom. It just has to be a separate one.
But Monty, is that what's happening? That's not even close.
Yes, that is exactly what's happening right now.
Or yes, we're not going to ban guns. We're just going to ban assault rifles. Just assault rifles.
And that's not what's happening. Y'all know that. We're talking about burning.
You can have a paper gun.
We're talking about burning
a paper gun
that people died behind. I think even the chatter even going like, God, what are y'all saying?
Yeah, and something they died for is our right to fucking express ourselves. Veterans fucking burn the flag, man, and one did today, and one did today.
Paper. I honestly think y'all just kind of being petty about it being a cloth.
A veteran got arrested today after burning the American flag.
Why does it matter? If it makes no difference, why does it matter?
Because if they're gonna make it a crime to burn the cloth, and the consensus of the American people, it does seem like it does seem like there's people going like, I don't want my flag burned.
The consensus of the American people aren't the people that donate to you in chat. First of all, that's not the consensus of the American people. Like,
A lot
let's
of
just get that
American
clear.
people do, bro. Look at the super chatters. They're saying they don't like the American flag being
I
burned.
know, and they're not a good like resource to pull from. They're not the consensus of the American people. They're people that agree with you, besides me. But yeah,
I don't
I
know.
mean,
Hey,
that's not.
All right.
I
If
bet
it wasn't
the,
if it wasn't
the
such
pool
a
I
big
have.
deal, if it wasn't such a big deal and there's no difference, why is it like against the law? Or why are they trying
Yeah,
to make it against the law?
yeah, exactly.
Now, what
I'm
is it
pretty
against
sure
the
the
law to
majority
do?
of people I know.
To burn the American
If you can
flag or to burn
receive
the
a year
cloth
in
of the
jail,
American flag? What is it?
What is the difference? What is the difference in
the
material?
fact
Still get
is
your
you'll
message
spend a year in
across.
jail for something that the president disagrees with. That is authoritarian.
I can
Yeah,
still burn a paper American flag. I can still say whatever I want about
And
America.
you can still get water. It just has to be in the colored water fountain.
Now,
Separate
Yep.
come
people is
on,
against the
now,
law.
Monty. Now you're over exaggerating.
No, I'm not.
Exactly.
no,
That
No,
is
he's
what
that's
it is.
spot
extreme over
on.
exaggerating. How we get to burning flags to colored water fountains?
His argument is spot on, bro. Are you
No, it's
kidding? It's
not.
the exact same.
No, it's
I don't
not.
get it.
It's really not.
How do you? Okay, let me explain it.
It
Then.
is.
Let me explain it. So you said that there's no difference. That you get the same message across. That you're not hurt in any way other than your feelings are hurt because you can't burn an American flag. Okay, well, say you can get water. You can go to the bathroom. We just don't want you around us because we don't like you.
How is racism getting
That's
roped into
it's not
the
racist.
difference between burning a paper and American flag?
This
Yeah,
is
one's
separate, but
symbolism and one's oppression.
That's not even separate. Separate, but
taking someone's right is oppression.
both. Look, here's the thing. There's people in the chat that's even saying, I don't even care if it's on a piece of paper. They see it as the same type of disrespect. Except now, one, if you burn the cloth, you can get in trouble for it. But if you burn the paper, it's all
in
good.
trouble anytime
Freedom
we
of-
get
Bro, you can sit there and write graffiti over the American flag at that point. Like, you
Set.
still have the freedom
So
of expression to like do whatever you want or say whatever you want.
until someone
Hey,
else finds it
damn
disrespectful.
it, Set, stop giving him so many good ideas.
And Set, you
No,
can say whatever you want
Supreme
until
Court
someone else
precedent
finds
about
it disrespectful.
vandalizing.
You can say whatever you want until someone else finds that disrespectful. Then you can't say that. Then you can say whatever you want, and it's not really a big deal. But you can say this if you want to until that becomes disrespectful.
But don't you think you're dying on the wrong hill when that comes to the American flag? Seeing that,
no, I don't. That is the most important.
Absolutely not.
The most hated speech is what you should yell the loudest for.
When we do,
Yeah,
I am.
Exactly.
You're saying, you can do this,
bro.
It's not
What
a
you
big
mean?
deal.
I'm pretty much telling you, I'm for burning the American flag. But if you can't do it by cloth, do it by paper.
No. The American flag is cloth. The American.
you're making excuses.
That's not making an excuse. That's
So you're
giving you an alternate. Or that's giving you an alternative.
Yeah, an alternative.
Yeah, you're saying, oh, they're trampling on you. They're trampling on your rights. So just be a little bit quieter. Just be a little
They're
bit.
not really trampling on your rights. You can still burn an American piece of paper. You can still do that.
But you can't burn an American flag.
Both
Something
me,
you cannot do
both
is
me and
Don't
Monty
burn the
have
American
said.
piece of paper. Why does it have to be the flag? Don't you got to be in a
Both
bit
me
petty
and
about the
Monty
flag? It got to be
said-
the cloth.
Real
It just
quick,
has to
real
be the
quick.
cloth.
Both me and Monty have said we would never personally burn the American flag. We don't like when people burn the American flag. But we
I
are
wanna punch them in
actually
their face.
stepping up and standing up for the freedom of speech and our First Amendment here. And you know what? You simply aren't. You're saying just be a little bit quieter about how people do
Tone down your
expression.
message.
Yeah.
Don't hurt people's feelings, and you won't go to jail.
Bro, I pretty much said people's feelings would be hurt if you do either one. But
It
all right,
doesn't
guys,
matter.
let's move on from the topic because it seems like we're talking past each other. At this
So
point.
that's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter what the goalpost is; it will continuously get moved because you can draw similarities from each case as it gets further and further and further down the road. And sooner or later, you will not be able to express yourself at all because it will have that kind of profound. It doesn't.
I don't think the goalpost is being moved. I do think this is a bit of an over exaggeration, but I hear your point.
No,
you don't lose your rights.
This isn't the
overnight, you lose
first
them slowly.
abridgment of the First Amendment.
Yeah.
By this
We'll
administration. They've gone written ads.
All right, well, we'll see.
It shows a real sickness in the head. And I agree with the President of the United States. I think most Democrats, rank and file, nobody likes.
Oh, and shout out to Seth. She says, Y'all pissing me off, man. It's all good, man. Look, we're gonna have our debate. All right, guys. It is what it is. All right, though. Let's keep it going.
Crime. Republicans don't like crime. Democrats don't like crime. Independents don't like crime.
Yo,
I just want to put something out there. What? So now I'm pissing somebody else off. Now I'm making somebody else mad. Could they not say that I'm just committing hate speech? And can I not just go to jail just for even talking about this, since no speech is protected?
Great point.
I mean, how about this?
Hey,
Let's make it more relatable.
You don't get to
No.
Because, like I said, you guys are trying to.
We might start a riot.
It's like you're making these overly exaggerated comparisons, and I'm just like,
that's the thing. You don't get to decide where it ends. The next president decides
Yeah, no.
where it ends.
No, do you want
Me and Monty might be starting a riot right now.
I don't think
wanna
anything
answer
is
your
even
question?
begun, to be quite honest with you. I really don't. I don't think anything really begun. They did not say you cannot burn any image or desecrate the American flag in any way. If they'd have said that, I'd have been like, yeah, you guys are tripping. But you're saying you just can't.
Okay, because they can't. They can't even do this. They can't even do this.
I'm like,
Trump.
all right.
Trump can't make laws via fucking royal fiat.
You guys need to hear this. In 1989, the Supreme Court's ruling in Texas versus Johnson, which found a Texas flag desecration law unconstitutional.
Yep.
Congress passed the Flag Protection Act of 1989. This new federal law prohibited the desecration of the United States flag.
And all right, guys,
which is found unconstitutional.
The Supreme Court again found the law unconstitutional. The court held that burning the flag was from a symbolic speech protected by the First Amendment. The government's interest in protecting the flag as a symbol was not strong enough to justify prohibiting this from a form of protest. So, in saying
hold
that,
on, man.
Trump didn't invent anything. This is something that's been going on predating Trump, and there are a lot of people who have been pushing for this for a long time.
All right. Before you guys respond, let me go ahead and read out these super chats. Because shout out to my man Vlastin. He says, because Sid knows everything. He says, F the public. Shake my head. And shout out to my man Parabolic Curvature. He says, United States versus Etchman, 496 US, 310, 1990.
You know, if Vladstein wants to join VC and fucking confront me here, he can. But he's not providing a counter argument to me or Monty. And you know what? We're absolutely correct here. Both of us are fully correct here and have heard no good arguments that counter ours.
Now y'all heard some good arguments. I just still think you're willing to hear them.
No, you guys did not.
I gave you no good arguments.
No, you didn't.
No.
You said you can burn something else. That's the only argument you gave.
Well, a lot of people
but
have believe I gave a good argument, but just you two. Don't you think you're being a bit biased now that you guys are kumbayaing?
No, I'm not kumbayaing.
No.
I don't
well, you kind of are because
dude, this motherfucker hates me, dude.
There's people in the chat
this guy
that agree
hates
with me, and they agree with me more than they agree with me more than they agree with you guys. So now it's just like you want
of course they agree with you.
Monty hates me.
Bro,
and
so now we're in an echo chamber now. Right?
Yes, that is the definition of an echo chamber. Just because
so they don't agree with you, Monty, they're in an echo chamber.
Well, that falls apart when you have
Come on, Monty. Let's be fair here.
Not on the same side as the typical alignment here. We have people in chat that are saying both things.
Yeah, they're just super chatting that message.
Yeah, why don't you read the unpaid chats? Let's see if they all agree.
They've also agreed with me as well, but I mean, you can ask the people in the chat.
Oh, really? They all agree?
Go ahead.
They
all agree?
Go ahead. I mean, not all of them, but it is literally leaning in my
motherfuckers. You can't all be broke that agree with us.
It's probably because I'm not really trying to be, attacking towards you or kind of trying to be condescending. You ever thought about that?
No, I mean, you've been yelling at just as much as all of us.
Nah, not really. I'm only yelling to match your guys, kind of match you guys. Remember that.
Okay.
And, hey, one more little thing just to make the whole conversation more full. And there is also religious burning of the flag when you're going to retire it.
Yeah.
Hey, Seth, should we be able to burn the Israeli flag?
Oh, dear God.
I knew you was gonna go there too, though. You know what?
You know
If
what?
they
I'm not
said-
in this conversation. I don't want the
No.
misogyny.
Because you know it's actually
Great
crazy.
question.
In Israel, I believe in Israel, y'all don't think you can burn their flag, so they burn the paper version of the flag. That's where I got it
Oh.
from.
Hell,
That's where I got
Sounds
it
like
You know
from.
what's funny?
Slide article to
Hey,
it.
Sid.
Sounds
hey,
like
Sid.
an unfree country.
It sounds like an unfree country. Yeah.
But really? Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
just
Oh, you
say
think
it.
Israel's free? You think that
Israel's
Israel's
free?
great?
Hey guys, hey, wait a minute. If you
No,
say
no,
that,
no.
you have,
You
to,
know,
you have to ask yourself what other countries don't allow their flag to be burned, and
We are the
what-
best country